What's going on, guys, and welcome back to your daily dose of Red Dead Redemption 2 news and info. And today has been quite an eventful day. We've got a bunch of new leaks going on, including a new horse guide, a full list of all of the available weapons in the game, and finally a brand new gameplay video posted a couple of hours ago on the PlayStation official channel. And with roughly 48 more hours until the game goes live, the hype train is in full effect. And there are some countries out there that got the game early on, and yeah, expect some more gameplay leaks happening very soon. But in the meantime, let's go over all of the info that was posted today, and I'm going to start with the first one coming our way from the PlayStation Europe channel that posted a brand new 30-second video of the PS4 early access content, as well as some never seen before gameplay footage. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. For those unaware, PlayStation users will get an early access to certain in-game exclusive items on day one, and they come in the form of a whole new outfit, a horse, saddlebags, as well as a custom-made revolver. The Grizzly's Outlaw outfit is the first one being shown, and you probably saw screenshots of this a few weeks back. Now you can see it in much more detail, as it's some brand new gameplay footage of it, and the costume itself features a long wool coat covered with a dark leather vest, an ornate hat, and as it can be seen from the available footage, it also looks quite impressive. I mean, it's pretty cool. It kind of makes you look like an old style park ranger, but at the very least you get to ride in style in the opening hours of the game. Following next, we have the red chestnut Arabian horse, which is looking very slick, and for good reason. Its description reads that it's built for speed and handling, and you can definitely see that in the video, as the animations are some of the best I've seen so far, and the player has quite a lot of control over how the horse moves. The handling of it also seems to be very good, so this should be a very good early horse to have, as it has some pretty awesome stats. And by the way, speaking of stats, the exclusive content also offers an awesome looking alligator skin saddlebag that boosts health and stamina for your horse, so it looks pretty freaking cool. The color combination definitely looks pretty awesome. Finally, we have a brand new revolver skin called the High Roller Double Action Revolver, and it comes with some very beautiful skull and cards engravings on it. The description also reads that it exceeds in rate of fire, and you can see all of those nice details in this very scene. Now, if you're an Xbox One player, you're gonna have access to all of these in like 30 days after the game launches, but they shouldn't change too much. I mean, at that point in time, you most probably will have way better and like good looking equipment compared to these, so don't you worry. I don't think this is like a big issue. It's not that big of advantage, so yeah, don't stress too much. But since we are still on the subject of weapons, I also want to talk about the full weapon catalog that was posted the past 24 hours on various websites, including on Reddit, and it contains all of the available weapons in the game, including 9 revolvers, 4 pistols, 9 shotguns, including the sawed-off we've seen Arthur using various times, 6 rifles, and finally about 24 or so melee weapons, including hatchets, knives, shanks, and even axes. I believe I even saw a sickle in there and a rusty sword / rapier, though I might be wrong. I'm not even sure if these are dual wieldable or if they're just in one hand, because we can't really make up the scale of them, but so far we haven't seen Arthur dual wielding any of the melee weapons. Now, the numbers I give you here are give or take 1 or 2, as these screenshots have since been deleted, and the only ones available to me have some pretty low resolution. So yeah, this is what I was able to make out of these screenshots. They're pretty bad. There are roughly 50 or so weapons in total, melee including. But here are a few key points I want to briefly go over in this category, and I will start with the stats themselves. For the most part, it seems that the weapon stats are quite balanced in most of the cases, and each category has several weapons that are pretty close to one another stat wise. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of weapons that could very well be used in the same types of scenarios, as they aren't too far off each other anyway. Yes, it's true that there are a few besides of these which excel in different scenarios, like for example compromising damage for more stability and accuracy, or vice versa. Melee weapons also seem to have either 1, 2, 3 or even 4 stats on them, and pretty much varies from weapon to weapon. I am seeing the axes and hatchets having the most amount of stat bonuses, up to 3, sometimes even 4, with long knives and swords coming up at number 2, and then the rusty weapons at only 1 stat bonus. Another thing I want to mention about melee is that these make up the overwhelming majority of the available weapons in the game, and out of the 50 plus existing weapons, almost half of them are just in the melee category, which means that the number of actual guns is lower than the previous games. I am personally fine with this, as the weapon customization in the game is extensive enough to satisfy my needs. I'm just saying this, but yeah, I don't think it's too much of an issue. Moving on to the next piece, we have part of the horse catalog, but unfortunately whoever took this picture must have done so with a potato because it is quite low. It's pretty hard to distinguish the text over there, but I gave my best shot to make sense of what I see. Nonetheless, we get to see 8 horse categories on the page that was leaked, with a few indications that I can make out, including the category, the price the horse has, color variations, and a section that indicates if the horse is a standard breed or an elite one. And I'm going to assume that elite versions will perform better and generally have better stats, but it might also be harder to get, so yeah, this is what I'm making. Other than that, it's all written in German and the words are super hard to make out, so if anyone here reads German, a translation would be greatly appreciated. What we know so far is that there are 19 breeds in the game with multiple color variations each. Both stats and behaviors differ from one breed to another, and the models themselves look quite different from one another. We might still get a few breeds that for some reason still share the same model except with slightly different skins, as it also happened with weapons, but for the most part you're going to see quite a lot of variation in regards to horses. Finally, before ending this video, I also want to talk about a few map leaks we had in the past day on top of what we already discussed in the previous video, and we now have pretty much the entire map at hand. It looks like it still holds most of the areas in the previous Red Dead Redemption on top of the already existing ones that we know of in Red Dead Redemption 2, but the Mexico region seems to not have made it into this game, or if it did, only a very small corner area of it was brought in. And honestly, I don't find any problem with this. I find the map to be quite big, it's diverse enough, and it has enough biomes, so that should be enough open world for anybody out there. But I know there are some people who really wanted to see Mexico in the game, and we might still get that as either a DLC or maybe an area that we can access later on, but for the most part it's pretty much inaccessible, and yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I would honestly much rather see a more compact map filled with things to do rather than have a wide area with dead content in between points of interest. There is one more thing regarding maps, and that is the fact that there is a leaked version that contains special random encounters that you can find on the map, and there are 4 categories of special events in total. We have treasure hunters, crime scenes, Del Lobo executions, and finally a category called torchlight, lurking shadows, scared horses, and voices. Now the treasure hunters is something we had hints for quite a while. We know that Arthur can explore secret areas and uncover secret items. Some of them are given to you as hints at the campfire, but others seem to be given you by random NPCs as well. Moving on to crime scenes, this is the next category, and it might come hand in hand with the detective mode that exists in Red Dead Redemption 2, and Arthur can pick up objects, analyze them from every angle in a very similar way to LA Noire, and since he also has tracker vision and the social interaction feature to interrogate people, it would make sense to be the one who discovers crime scenes, investigates them, and I'm really curious to see if you can actually catch criminals from these crime scenes, or is it just a challenge that you need to complete. I'm really curious because it sounds very interesting. The Del Lobo executions is something that was seen in an IGN preview like a month ago or so, and back then the cast was able to see an an execution happening in real time in one of the town squares, and it was pretty interesting because according to them, the Rockstar representatives didn't even know that existed within the game. Now the torchlight, lurking shadows, scared horses, and voices, I have no clue what it is. I'm not even sure if it's several different categories or just one that contains all of these. Maybe torchlight, lurking shadows, and all of this has some story related explanation, but we will wait and see in like 48 hours. But this is all the info and the leaks we have for today, and most probably we will have many more until tomorrow. But yeah, if you want to see more of Red Dead Redemption 2 info, leaks, gameplay, guides, and all of that, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm going to cover all of this from now on. Also leave a like on this video if you enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next one, so peace out.